So before we get started, I'm in Toronto and we got a ton of snow yesterday and today. So it was a good workout day of shoveling myself before I could get back in the house. Hopefully everyone's staying warm this January and are excited because June is right around the corner now.
And it's much warmer in Texas now in January, certainly than it is in Toronto. But yeah, we've had very temperate weather.
Nice.
Also, Mohi, you could probably let people know if they have questions, they can put them into the question and answer portion anytime.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, so the Q&A portion is open. Uh, don't hesitate to put your questions there. That way it'll be queued up, and either one of our fellow panelists will answer to you right there, or towards the end of the presentation, we'll review all the questions, run through them, and get you all the answers that you all need. But as always, Discord is a good place to ask questions too. So don't hesitate to post it there too. People are still trickling in, so we'll get started in a minute or two.
I mentioned no snow in Texas.
Now you're just showing off, Jim.
I know. Well, at least we're not in the 80s anymore. We've been in the 80s for the last couple of weeks. It's been
Nice.
just miserable.
Oh boy. All right, we hit the 40 mark, so I think we can kick things off. Uh, so as I mentioned before, this is the first town hall of the 2026 calendar year. Hopefully everyone had a good holiday season and a good start to the year. And now that we are into the 2026 calendar year officially, that means IREC is just around the corner. So these town halls, hopefully, in my opinion, are being very useful as we count down to June. In terms of our agenda for today, we've got a whole slew of things to cover. A lot of them are updates, not just on the progress report, but also on events that we've been involved with, which is very exciting. A few things on the challenges front, as well as a couple of main things in terms of deadlines and milestones that are coming up for you all to be aware of, or just more so of a friendly reminder. So first up, we've got President's Minute. I think Steve is out of town, and I don't think he's able to join us online, but I think Andy and Stephanie might be taking over in his place instead.
Sure. Thanks, Moe. Stephanie, if Steve gave you anything specific, to mention, please, and I don't mention those, please jump in and add them to the list. So
he just specifically said Andy will take it on.
Okay. All right. I hope I don't screw this up. Awesome. Steve Taylor and myself have been in Orlando, Florida, for this past week for the AIAA SciTech convention. It is their principal academic convention where a huge number of industry sponsors, members, academic community, members of the industrial base, and a huge number of students, a record number of students attending the event this year. It is essentially 4 days of academic presentations, technical papers, new research studies, new breakthroughs in various industrial technologies, as well as industrial organizations presenting their companies and selling their wares and doing their marketing and sales pitches, and a big, huge, massive floor with great number of displays and some pretty neat swag, probably some of the best swag I've seen. So we spent the week here with a couple of different mission focuses. So the time we spent was primarily focused on working with the AIAA, expanding and ensuring that our MOU, our partnership agreement, is clear and that there are no confusing points and potentially expanding it for the future. We are hoping in the future for the next year's, the 2027 SciTech Convention, that we will have several of the leading teams from the 2026 IREC, particularly those that have had, like, say, the top 3 or 4 technical papers, are going to receive invitations to do a presentation of that said paper for the SciTech audience. And so we're not sure the details, how we're going to fund it, how are we going to handle travel and those type of details, but it's a pretty significant honor. There are quite a few individual student teams that are here that are individual students that are here presenting their own technical papers, but you would be attending on behalf of the IREC as a competitor, and that includes your final technical report as well as the technical presentations. The what would you call those? Those are the papers that are done outside of the final report. I'm losing my mind. What's the name? What's the oh, shoot? The 25 top research topics that we talk about and we invite to present during the event. So we'll take the best of those 25 presentations, and they will also receive invitations to next year's AIAA conference. So that's the general gist of what we were doing with AIAA. Second piece, obviously, is we're working with various different industry sponsors and attempting to ensure that they understand what our event is and the opportunities our event provides, and maybe have the opportunity to sponsor us. So we're definitely doing our sales pitch here as best we can. And again, every dollar that comes in to our event is going to hopefully limit the expenses coming back to the students. So if we get a ton of grants and a ton of sponsorships, we'll be able to lower the costs back to the students. So anyways, that is one of the goals there. This year's AIAA had a new event that they've never done before. It's called their Career Accelerator. And it was an entire day full of topics and meetings and presentations on how students can transition to the workforce easier, faster, and with better success. Everything from resume workshops to interviewing skills to actually, ESRA was invited to participate in a session that talked specifically about how you can maximize your competitive experiences to land even better jobs. So we are looking at trying to copy that in a smaller format and maybe run that or run a smaller version of that with AIAA support on the Monday of our IREC 2026. So it's still in the works, but be on the lookout, and we'll hopefully provide some new details for that one. AIAA is pretty excited about how well it was received, the huge number of students that participated in it, and we think we'll have at least that kind of support, if not more, for our version of it during the IREC. The second piece that we did, we attended the ADCA committee, ADCA. That is the Aerospace Department Chairs Association. We had about 45 attendees, each of them representing various different universities around the United States. And basically, they are department heads or representatives of department chairs for a lot of the schools that are probably here right now. And proud to say that out of those 45 schools, literally every single one of those had a competing IREC team, if not this year, definitely recently. And some very interesting information that we got out there, and we're excited to mention this to everybody here, and we want to make sure the ESRA staff is aware of it as well. Every single department out of those 45 department heads pretty much made it very clear that aerospace is expanding rapidly. The departments are expressing words such as hiring 3 more faculty members, or expanding the cap of number of aerospace new students being accepted by some words, sometimes 2 to 3 times. They're also expressing terms such as last year we got a record number of applications, and they had to bump their cap from, let's say, 150 acceptances up to 500. So it's a very exciting time in the aerospace field. The demand obviously is extremely high, and that just tells us that we're in the right track. We're doing well, and the demand is only going to continue to increase. So it's exciting to hear, and with more students, there's more investment, and the universities will take note a lot more of. We actually had 2 universities that said that their aerospace department either became larger than all the other engineering departments, or we had 2 schools that said their aerospace department was now the largest department in the entire school. And that's just unheard of. In my time, they didn't know what aerospace was. You were always part of either physics or some other department. So it's a very exciting time nonetheless. So we presented to AdCup various different topics, including safety, including updates on the IRAC itself, the growth, and some of the future challenges that are going to be coming up. A lot of the feedback that we received from the faculty, from the department chairs themselves, was a significant number of concerns about students going out on their own, doing their own thing. How can we manage that? How can we mitigate that? Because the lone wolves are the challenge that we run into. So ESRA is absolutely going to be actively involved in trying to address some of these concerns and providing additional resources in the future to the universities to assist them. The last piece that Steve Taylor drove home to the AdCup committee was we are, excuse me, we are reestablishing our strategic advisory committee, and it's going to have 2 facets. One of those is going to be academic. The other one will be industrial. The first one will be academic, and what we're looking for is faculty advisors, department chairs, anyone that has strong ties with the academic community that would like to assist us in guiding our strategic planning and operations, and again, ensuring that ESRA is doing the necessary due diligence to ensure that our engineering challenges are aligned with the goals of the universities. And we certainly want to be, we do not want to be creating any type of animosity between our group and the universities, but we want to stay on top of the new challenges that are coming out as well. And we want to ensure that the departments are aware of our safety practices and are comfortable and feeling confident that they can send their teams to our event and ensure that they are being held safely. So it was a good presentation. And again, we're happy to work with that group, and it looks like it'll now become an annual event. And I think Steve's will be sending a call out to all of the AdCup members for volunteers to join this committee. And you'll see some changes coming down the road in future applications, safety requirements, as well as some new resources outside of the competition that universities as well as teams can utilize. So all in all, AIAA and the SciTech convention, very successful. We have a lot of leads on new potential sponsors. The universities are much tighter working with us, and the new strategic advisory committee is probably going to get off on a very strong foot in the next month or 2. Let's see, I think we're talking already about international shipping. We also did meet with Spaceport Midland. We had a wonderful dinner meeting with them last night. The spaceport is expanding rapidly. Right now, it's hard to identify what type of physical facilities they have because they're so new. It's not like Spaceport America where they have buildings and they have hangars and they have all these industrial partners. Spaceport Midland is still in its very early stages. The exciting and successful part that's coming down the road is Texas has a significant amount of investment dollars available, and they are very excited about expanding the Midland Spaceport, and Midland Spaceport wants to work directly with ESRA for a good portion of their strategic planning. And the money that they're talking about ranges from the initial surveys and dollars are talking about a couple million here and there to get some studies moving, to contract with groups like KBR which is a worldwide type of infrastructure management company to get the spaceport infrastructure put in place. But coming up with a strategic plan and investment in the future looks like it'll be in the hundreds of millions initially, and then potentially even higher than that. So we are looking at, hopefully in the next couple of years, a lot of more permanent infrastructure to be put in place. So instead of having the tents blown down every year, I know it's a nightmare, but we'll have some actual facilities. We'll have some hardened shelters available for the students and for ESRA and others to attend. So we won't go into all the details of that one, but it's significantly larger planning. Steve and I came out scratching our heads going, we have a lot of work to do. So exciting times, and hopefully you guys will still be in school to see some of these outcomes. So that was quite an exciting set of meetings. And the last thing, Steve wants to apologize for, he meant to send out an announcement to the entire ESRA organization and then out to the rest of the student community. But the board meeting that we had this previous about a week and a half ago, we had a proposal, and we've had an open position for the board position known as Launch Operations Director, and that we proposed for Mohi Khan to become that position leader, and it was a unanimous vote. And everyone like to congratulate Mohi on being promoted to that role. And so he is now a board member and our launch operations director. And congratulations, Mohi. And I think that's it from the president's arena.
Thanks. Those were some exciting updates. A few seconds ago, I saw Stephanie put her hand up. Did you have something to add, Stephanie?
No, I accidentally put my hand up, but congratulations, Mohi. I think it's well deserved.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for that, and to continue to, well, first off, learn a lot of things from not just other ESRA volunteers, but also students. Hopefully, we can convert them from students to volunteers once they graduate. So next up, we've got our couple of Discord updates. So far on Discord, there's about 1,800 members. And off that, 1,000 are about IRIC competitors itself, so students such as yourself. If you haven't yet gotten all your team members on board, I would recommend inviting them and asking them to join. There's a lot of key information that's not just shared from a project management standpoint, but also on different subsystems, from motors to payload and to general design itself. So having those specialized students on Discord will help disseminate the necessary information throughout the competition year. A couple of general updates as well. So please follow rules and post all your questions in the correct channel. I think so far we've got a good number of channels to break down different criterias, and I think it's working. I don't think we're missing any channels. If you are, please put them in the suggestion channel. So keep an eye out for that. And then last thing to note is, with 1,800 people on Discord, just be mindful of who you're getting instructions from, more specifically if it has something to do with rules and requirements, dates, and whatnot. If it's not one of our ESRA folks who is supposed to be chiming in on that matter, just be a little bit wary and go do your homework. Jessica, for example, has created an amazing website along with her media team. So go there, check out the documents, read through it to verify if it's actually true or not. So that's Discord updates. There is a couple of updates on or reminders on the international shipping coordination. Andy, do you want to speak to this?
Absolutely. Be more than happy to discuss. International shipping coordination. We do now, again, and we're going to repeat this pretty much every month for the next month or two. But for teams that are bringing their rockets across the border or bringing across the ocean, those type of functions, if you're not planning on taking it on the airplane with you, which can be extraordinarily expensive and very challenging, and you're concerned about some of these things, we do have an organization now, Flagship Forwarding, that is more than happy to work with you. The only challenge is you need to make sure you contact them early. And it doesn't mean you have to ship your stuff 3-4 months ahead of time, but you need to coordinate with them so that they can give you all the details, tell you all the requirements of how you need to pack your rocket, and they need to understand and plan for the route. So you need to contact them well in advance of the actual shipping portion of it. The great thing with this company is they are going to monitor all of the shipments actively. So if something gets hung up in, let's say, for instance, customs in Los Angeles or customs in New York or wherever the case might be, they will, on your behalf, be the ones to know about it long before your team does. And they will be the ones working to resolve that. They are focused on delivering the rockets and all of the deliverables to the destination site on the date that it needs to be there. So if they have any problems, they're the experts. They have done this for years and years and years, and they helped us several teams out last year. And I reached out to them and asked them if they would be happy, if they would be interested in doing this for the entire organization. And so the information is here, but it's also on our website. The key piece is you cannot wait until the last couple of weeks. If you wait until May, even mid to late May, you are probably going to be too late. And so if you're planning on shipping your stuff, we highly recommend using Flagship Forwarding, and the contact information is listed here. And it's, again, on our website. You don't need to ship the stuff by April 1st. It's just contact them. Contact them, start the process of filling out the paperwork by April 1st. And you should be able to get that managed. You'll know exactly how much it's going to cost, and you'll have the instructions on how to return the rocket as well. So please reach out to this organization, and if you run into problems with them, ESRA will work with them to resolve them. If you go outside of Flagship Forwarding, you're on your own. ESRA can't help you. So we highly recommend you utilize Flagship Forwarding, and I guess that's enough on that one, but we'll continue to remind people throughout until the deadline appears on April 1st. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, folks. So as Andy mentioned, just take a few minutes, draft up an email, just introducing yourself, introducing your team, get that conversation going so you don't get caught up and forget till the very last second. So next up, we've got Progress 1 updates. And so far, this process has been going very smoothly, and it's being tackled by Jim. And I'll hand it over to Jim for the updates.
Yeah, that's been a pretty active area for us over the last few weeks, trying to get everyone some comments on their Progress Report 1. Our goal is to try to help you make sure there's not any showstopper safety issues or rules violations that would cause you big problems or prevent you from flying your rocket when you get to the competition. So the last time I checked, a half hour or so ago, we had about 80% of the teams had received an email review at this point. So that's not too bad. 80% is pretty good. Our goal is at the end of this week to have it done, and I've checked back with all of the open reviews, and at this point, everyone is committed to having those reviews done by at least by the end of this weekend. And so that's our goal, is to have some comments there. I'd recommend that you know, particularly if there are any things that you don't understand in the comments, or if you disagree with the comments, or you still have questions about it, that you continue to have a dialogue with your reviewer on those things. Don't feel like you're stuck and you can't go back and say, well, what do you mean about this? You know, we don't agree, or we have this issue, or whatever it is, and continue to work with them on resolving those issues. And if you get stuck, I'm available to help you out there as well, but your reviewer should be able to solve most all of these issues. We'll have the progress report one due, or the reviews coming out in about a month from now. You're going to have progress report two to submit, and I think there's some more information. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. Just a couple comments. I haven't gone through and digested everything, all of the data that we've got. I've looked at some of it. I think that we still have an awful lot of featherweight trackers and 900 megahertz trackers. I think one thing I've learned is that we'll probably keep most of that band open for the COTS trackers. Maybe the SRAD band will maybe be a little narrower than I thought. So that kind of helps us out a little bit. I think, if we just can continue to have teams shift over to 70 centimeters if they can, I think we'll be okay. Just be aware that there's going to be, a whole lot of people on the 900 megahertz COTS. And so I'm hoping that we can not have problems there. We won't have problems if things go smoothly, but if we have weather delays and a whole bunch of things jam up, that's where we'll run into issues. So I just continue to urge people to go over to 70 centimeters if they can. And hopefully that'll work itself out. I think things look okay on the battery issues. We didn't have a whole lot of teams that were still thinking that they were going to use LiPo batteries. So I think we're doing okay there. I guess that's most of what I wanted to say at this point. Appreciate everyone for a good set of reports, and we're hoping for a good set of reviews, and then the information coming in for progress report too.
Thanks, Jim. Up next, we've got the 2026 Mission Patch contest updates. So, as you all saw on Discord, we got a lot of submissions this past 2026 Mission Patch contest entry time period, you could say. A lot of them were very high quality in the design. They embodied all the requirements, not just ESRA's branding guidelines, but also meeting IREC theme, showcasing Midland, and also rocketry in general. So thank you all for partaking in that competition. Currently, we are in the process of reviewing all those submissions. The advantage was the contest became quite popular. The disadvantage was we got more work than we anticipated in reviewing this. So hopefully the final selection should be done shortly. And once that's done, we'll be announcing the patch that'll be representing the 2026 IREC very soon. So keep an eye out on our socials for this patch, and hopefully we're looking forward to seeing it on your team shirts, on your rocket, and other places as well.
Yeah, I want to reiterate, we need to get this nailed down pretty quickly because the merchandising and well, there's just a lot riding on the mission patch, and having the students abscond off with pretty much every leftover patch that I had during this convention. They are very desperate to find out what the 2026 patch is going to look like. So hopefully we can get some priority on that and make that announcement sooner rather than later.
Indeed. So back to AIAA SciTech convention that happened, or that is currently happening. Andy gave, I think, a good chunk of the updates. I think the word that he was looking for is the podium session.
Correct. I'm sorry. That's it. Exactly. So the winners from those podium sessions that maybe the top, we don't know the specific numbers or the funding or anything like that yet. But definitely the top leading presenters, the highest scores, the best evaluators will be, excuse me, invited to attend the 2027 SkySet Tech and present as a team. And it's quite a thrill and quite an honor, and it looks great on resumes to attend these things. So I know that's a exciting conversation that AIAA is in full support of. So we're looking forward to moving forward with that.
Indeed. So a couple of other things. In order to have a successful event, we had a few teams that we reached out to, mainly in the vicinity of the conference itself. So I wanted to give a shout out to the University of South Florida, the Society of Aeronautics and Rocketry, and also USF Knights Experimental Rocketry for trying to coordinate with us to make it a better event, not just for ourselves, but also for the IREC and rocketry community in general. So thank you for doing that to the Floridian teams. But we'd like to give a huge shout out to Embry-Riddle. More specifically, this team went above and beyond in not just showcasing who ESRA is, what IREC is about, but also volunteering at the booth for the past few days. So big thank you to that. Andy, did you have anything to chime in? Or
Oh no, absolutely did. So they had at least 1 to 2 students standing at the booth with us for the entire time, and it was phenomenal to have the ability to, old guys like Steve and myself sitting there talking to, the faculty members or these directors with these amazing companies that are there explaining to the event, but we could just hand them right off to the Embry-Riddle team and say, we have active competitors here. They can tell you, their feelings, their experiences, and so the Embry-Riddle team, they also assisted us with some hardware challenges that we had, providing monitors and support from that standpoint. They brought several of their competitive rockets and had a display out in the lobby, which garnered a huge amount of conversation. You could not walk past it without seeing 5 or 6 people standing around and pointing to it. So very impressive setup and layout out there, and we thank them tremendously for their support.
Thank you, folks, for showcasing. And at the next events and next conferences, perhaps we can look into coordinating with more teams and giving you all shout outs and other opportunities to connect with ESRA leadership in the future. Up next, we've got some updates on the video and live video feed challenges. I'll hand this over to Jessica, since she's the head media coordinator.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and cover these 2 things really quickly, and then I have a couple of extra things to add. Mohi, if you'll go ahead and flip. So some of the biggest things that we notice with the team video challenge, and this, of course, is the video that tells us about your team and your overall experience from the beginning of your developing your rocket until either just before you join the competition or after you've launched, depending on when you submit your videos. So the team video challenge, so the due date for the initial video is May 30th of this year. The team video is required to be 2 to 4 minutes, ideally, so that we can use it on live stream. And then the intro video, which should be the first 30 seconds of your team's video, so kind of introducing your team and introducing the people that are in your team. Again, that's the intro video. So there's 2 videos that we are looking to see by May 30th. Keep in mind that inappropriate content or failure to obtain audio copyright will result in withdrawal from the competition as far as the team video challenge is concerned. If we load it up on YouTube and YouTube says we can't use it, then that's an automatic withdrawal. So if there are any questions or if you are concerned that your audio copyright may conflict, we highly recommend that you personally uploading it to YouTube, giving it 72 hours to make sure that there is no issue. With the team video challenge, you also have the final video. The final video takes your team video and then it incorporates your launch footage and your development during the competition. That'll be due Friday, June 19th, no later than 11:59 p.m. Now, with that said, you are welcome to submit videos to us at any time. We love to see your media, but those specific dates and times are hard as far as the team video challenge is concerned. Okay,
Jessica, let me, before we jump off that slide, just to clarify, if you do submit a video that has either copyright issues or some type of issue that just keeps us from posting it, it doesn't mean your team is removed from the IREC. It just means your video will not be accepted for this portion. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure the wording could have gotten a little confused. I know I got confused, so just make sure we clarify that your team will not be kicked out of the IREC for a bad video. It just the video itself will not be utilized.
Exactly. All right. So in reference to the live stream or live feed challenge, or also it's also called the live rocket video challenge. Ideally, it's submitted during the competition. It must contain live video from your onboard rocket, visualization of live rocket telemetry, and visualization of the live GSC telemetry. Students and teams must provide their own HDMI or memory card to connect to ESRA's video equipment. As I mentioned this challenge, I want to state that there may be some changes to this challenge due to frequency issues. And as soon as that is determined, we will let you know as soon as possible. So there may be a different way that this will happen. There will still be a live feed challenge. It's just how we're going to obtain the videos. That particular portion may change, and we will let you know as soon as possible. Andy, do you have anything to add to that one?
For now, I think that should just about cover it. But just keep in mind, and we're requesting flexibility on this because we're fighting through some coordination challenges with frequencies, and once those get addressed, it may require some changes on this live feed functionality.
Okay. So some other things I'd like to hit up before we go any further is that I know a lot of people are looking for documents on our website. Just to note, there is a search feature at the bottom of our website, and all you have to do is enter what you're looking for, and you can search all the documents on the website for that information. I know sometimes things can be a little bit hard to find, which is why we incorporated that search feature. In reference to Progress Report 2, I know a lot of people are getting antsy. We were hoping to be completely done with reviewing Progress Report 1 by now, which would have allowed us to go ahead and put out Progress Report 2, because we use Progress Report 1 to determine the content that's going to go into Progress Report 2. So please bear with us. I understand that our original date goal was today, but we're not going to make that because we're still going through a total of 175 submissions for Progress Report 1. So again, I understand that you guys are getting a little bit antsy and getting ready for Progress Report 2, and I promise we'll get that out to you across on the website and of course posted on our socials and Discord as soon as it becomes available. And last but not least, and Mohi's going to help me out with this, he's going to put a poll up on Discord. The social media team would like to introduce 2 new challenges this year. However, the challenge does not end until the competition is officially over, and therefore the winners will not be announced until the final press release. But those competitions will be the best picture of the 2026 IREC and the best social media presence. So we would like to know how many of you guys would like to take part in those challenges so that we can start working on what all those challenges will entail moving forward. So, and that is currently all I have for you guys.
Thanks, Jessica. Yeah, keep an eye out on Discord. We'll post the polls, like she mentioned. So we're looking for feedback on that. So take a second to complete that when it goes live. Jim, did you have something you'd like to add?
Just on the subject of Progress Report 2, there is a probably 98% complete draft out there that we've been getting comments on internally. So I don't think it'll be more than maybe a couple of days before that gets out there. I think the things that teams will see is your first reaction will be this looks an awful lot like progress report one. And that's true. But what you will be asked for that's different from progress report one, one section will ask you about live or about active controls. There wasn't anything in there on progress report one, and so we'll be asking about your air brakes and whatever else that you're doing that are active controls. We're also going to want to see more specificity on the specific equipment that you're using for recovery systems, links to particular pieces of equipment and so forth. There'll be more information requested on some of the hybrid requirements. And I think those are probably the main things. But there will be a lot of changes, but it'll still not be a whole lot different than what you've seen. I think maybe Jessica would allow another day or so. If you would, if you went through that progress report and you just say, why those idiots asked me for this and they didn't ask me for this, I'll accept comments on Discord for things that you might want to see different in progress report two, if you would like to provide those comments. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to incorporate any of them, but you're welcome to provide them. And if you do so within a day or so, I'll look at them and add them to the progress report too, depending on what I see there. So I'll offer that invitation to do that if you'd like to contribute to the progress report too.
Thanks, Jim. Up next, we've got media updates. So back to Jessica. Or would that be completed?
That's been completed, but we'll go ahead and send it to Dwayne for social media.
Sweet. Dwayne, any social media updates you'd like to share?
Just a real quick message for, well, first for the students, we are trying to get as much participation as possible so we can highlight you. So we have the opportunity for you to send in information about your school and your teams. So that is available for you. I believe it's going to be in the miscellaneous section of Discord. There is a form for you to fill out and submit your information, and it's also available on the website under your team section. Our goal is to try and have at least one team highlight a week. And then for the ESRA folks on there, we also are still trying to make sure we do the same thing for our volunteers. We want to make sure we're highlighting a volunteer as often as possible. Same thing, we have a volunteer form for you to be filling out. So, and then back to my teams. We love y'all come up with great social media posts. Anytime you would like to collaborate, if you want to reach out with us, we are all about sharing and collaborating and posting your information so that we can kind of cross collaborate that way. So just let us know what you want to do, and we're happy to do it. And that's all I got. Thanks, Moe.
Thanks, Dwayne. Up next, we've got RSO updates. Going back to Jim on this one.
I abbreviated an answer I was typing, which I'm not quite sure why I did that, because I don't have really any additional RSO updates at this point.
Okay.
So I'll go back to typing my answers.
That's okay. That sounds good. Up next, we'll go quickly through the different launch categories and see if anyone has any updates. Switching over to solids up first. Jason, do you got anything you'd like to share to the wider folks on solids?
No, nothing to share at this time.
Sweet. There is a solids channel on Discord, so if you've got any questions, feel free to post it there, and Jason can respond and have a look at questions come in as well. And speaking
Definitely.
of, the Q&A section is open, so don't hesitate to put some questions there too. Moving on, we've got multi-stage. If Adam's on the call, any updates from your front, Adam?
There are no major updates from the multi-stage side of things. If you are a two-stage team and you have not been added to the private discussion group for two-stage teams, feel free to reach out to me on Discord and we will get you added. Aside from that, yeah, keep working hard, y'all.
Thanks, Adam. Up next, we've got liquids and hybrids. For hybrids, Paul, anything you'd like to share?
No, not really. I finished all the reviews last week. I have gotten responses back from some of the questions. I should have all of the teams on the private hybrid liquid channel as well. So everybody should be in contact. Let's see what else. As Jim said about Progress Report 2, Progress Report 2 is going to ask a question on what kind of gas and liquid supplies you need for this launch. I need a good estimate so I can go to the vendor and see about having him start doing some quotes for materials. Other than that, I think we're in good shape and awaiting Progress Report 2.
Thanks for the updates, Paul. I'm not sure if Rick is on the call for liquids.
No, I don't think he is.
Okay. I don't think there are many updates from that side, but Paul's taking care of both of those anyways.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got Treasurer's Minute. Mandy, are you on the call? I don't believe so.
I don't remember seeing her.
Okay.
I know the one topic she did, and stop me if you already covered this, but the payment abilities for you to pay for your rocketry fee, the $700 rocket project fee, is now active on the website. We have had several teams already make payment. Thank you very much. It's great to get out in front of this. You don't want to wait until the end because you don't want to accidentally forget to pay the fee and then have your team removed from the competition. So that is available now. And again, it would be preferred that you get it out of the way early rather than miss the deadline.
Thanks, Andy. There's a few more folks who I forgot to add in to these slides, so I'll do that for next time. Stephanie is one of them from the event management side of things. Anything you'd like to add, Stephanie?
No, this is great. I'm excited about starting earlier this year than we did last year. And I will have a lot more, I think, details to offer next in February. But yeah, things are starting to move along. I think, Mohi, you said it, it's going to be here before we know it.
Oh, yeah.
Have we gotten updates? And I'm sorry, Stephanie, I've gotten a few questions from student teams indirectly about the hotels and hotel availability and such. Do we have a timeline, or have we been given any updates on the discount codes and the links for getting all that stuff ready to go?
I don't have that. I actually did just reach out to Jennifer also to get an update, and plus I want to get on the schedule with our every other week calls. I'll follow up with her on that.
Okay, so as soon as we get that information, folks, it'll be on our website, and we'll make Discord
Right.
announcements and social media announcements as well.
Awesome. Thanks to two of you. Jessica? Oh, no, Dwayne?
No. In reference to the hotels, so the hotels that were listed on the website last year that offer discount codes are already listed on the website now. If you would like to call them, you can mention the 2026 IREC and see if they are currently offering a discount code. But again, we haven't confirmed one way or the other. But I did want to let you guys know that information is on the website and it will be updated as soon as we get more info.
Thanks, Jessica. We've got a couple of key deadlines and milestones coming up. Some of them are Progress Report 2 will be starting very shortly, and then the due date will be coming up too. Keep in mind, Progress Report 2 does have a hard cutoff, and then if failure to submit it will result in you being eliminated from IREC, not just the challenge or a challenge. So keep an eye out for that. And then the fees that Andy was mentioning, the Rocket fees, that's up and live. Same goes for Rocketeer fees. Both these two are due a little while from now, but please try to pay them off sooner than later, especially the Rocket fees. That allows us to have some funds that we can utilize to acquire equipment, right? Put down finances for rentals and so on, so we can get better handle on things for logistics in order to host you all in June. So the sooner the better. But these two fees, I think after the deadline, they will go up. There is a late fees applicable, but even after that, there's a cutoff after which will result in elimination from IREC, as Andy mentioned. So the rocket fee is for your rocket itself, and then the Rocketeer fee is for the members coming down to IREC. So two different types of fees. Keep an eye out on that. One of the other questions that I got on Discord just before this was about Progress Report 3 and video reviews. Those two are two different milestones. So after Progress Report 2 finishes, we'll have video reviews kicking off. While that's going on, we'll also have all the teams submit a Progress Report 3, which will be very similar to Progress Report 1 and 2. So a few more milestones coming up. And I think that puts us at the end of this town.
Mo, yeah, I had a couple of quick things that we passed over my section of it, so no big deal. But I wanted to remind everyone about visa applications. It's already mid-January. I told every single international team that you need to submit these visa applications immediately. And we're still getting teams asking for visa application letters. And I can't imagine that they're going to be able to work that through the time schedule. So if your team has not actively been pursuing visa applications, and you still intend to compete and attend the event, particularly states that, or excuse me, countries that typically have anywhere from a 3 to 6 month scheduling delays, you're in trouble already. So please get in your international visa application request immediately. Head straight to your local State Department consulate and from the U.S. and get those requests submitted immediately. It may be already too late if you have not done any of that. So let's see. The other piece is we mentioned this through social media and our Discord channels as well, but I wanted to mention it here that the order date for COTS solid motors, whether you're purchasing it from Aerotech or from Motorman directly, the deadline for getting your orders in and having them fulfilled prior to the event taking place is coming up very rapidly. February 2nd, you need to put some kind of reminder that if your team doesn't have a motor and you haven't purchased one, it's time to do that, because if you do not select, you don't tell Motorman or Aerotech and select and order that motor by February 2nd at the latest, you will not have a motor. And there is not much that ESRA can do. We can't beg them or plead with them to find one, and they certainly can't create it out of thin air. They have a production schedule and a production process that takes place, and it's not quick. So again, the deadline for ordering your motors from Wildman or from Aerotech, who are our primary motor dealers, again, if you go into a third party, we can't help you. if you're going out to, anybody besides Wildman or Aerotech, those are the two folks that we can help you. But the deadline for those two organizations is February 2nd. Anything after that, and again, we can't help you. Any updates on Cicerone? No, not really. There are no updates on Cicerone. We are starting to hear some good vibrations about changes that will take place in 2027, and motors, especially larger motors from Cicerone, hopefully will once again become available. But these are rumors, unsubstantiated, but the vibrations are feeling good for next year in Cicerone again. In the meantime, Aerotech appears to be the majority stakeholder, and that deadline again is February 2nd. Do not miss that. Last little piece is we are solid. We are go for the pre-event Sunday certification launch. So more information will be coming out, but we wanted to clarify once again, the certification launch is for students and for volunteers. So if we have an ESRA volunteer, or if we have a student that is competing in the IREC and they are interested in certifying with a triple E level 1, level 2, or level 3, we are going to have that opportunity for you the Sunday prior to the beginning. So that would be the 14th. And if you want to build a kit, they're going to have options for that for your level 1, particularly for international teams that don't have the ability to bring a rocket with them. So we have a lot of options in that space for level 1. Level 2, level 3, you'll need to bring your own rocket, and you'll need to coordinate, purchasing of motors from Wildman and Aerotech. So again, same type scenario with that, but we appear to be solid on that Sunday launch. More details will be coming out to you shortly on Discord and on our website and social media. So excited to hear that, and looking forward to it. One disclaimer: it is called the Sunday Volunteer Fun Fly and Certification Launch. That does not mean that students can bring a rocket and have a fun fly. The fun fly is purely for the ESRA volunteers. If you graduate and you want to become an ESRA volunteer, then you can launch the fun fly. But the students will only be allowed to do certification launches. And I think that was it from my side. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Before we recap the Q&A, I forgot to ask Anita if she had any updates for us, or anything students need to keep an eye out in terms of milestones, before we close it up.
Just more of a reminder for students. I did review progress report 1. Just make sure your links are accessible to all of the reviewers. If it says PDF, please submit it as a PDF. There was some discrepancies there. But other than that, just, be ready for progress report 2. And then in May, technical reports will soonly be approaching. So just be aware of that. That's all I got.
Yeah, Mo, you may want to reach out to registration as well. We have a new registration lead, and excited to have her on board. And registration will be coming up here in the next month or 2.
Right. Yeah, and I can't see the participant list, but Jamie, if you're on the call for registration, do you have any updates for us? Anything? I know you just started the position. Introduction, maybe?
I am Jamie. I will hopefully be conducting a successful registration this year. I do not have any updates at this time. I am in the process of learning so that I can be excellent in this role and hopefully have some amazing updates in the future. Glad to be on board.
Awesome. Congratulations, Jamie. Looking forward to seeing you at IREC. Yeah, I think that pretty much goes over all the folks who needed to touch base. Quickly recapping some of the questions that we received. One of them is, would it be acceptable to provide predicted apogee and minimum stability margin based on simulations that include an average wind speed? I'm not sure if, Jim, you wanted to chime in again, but so far we are looking at no wind conditions, just to have a standard generic baseline for all the projects.
We do get that question a lot, and I just want to reiterate that the purpose of that simulation result is to just let the reviewers look at all the projects on a common basis. When you submit a simulation result that's, 18-mile-an-hour wind, it dramatically affects the results. And then basically what the reviewer has to do is go back and turn the wind off and rerun the simulation in order to be able to kind of get out of it what they want. That process has absolutely nothing to do with your simulation of the rocket and looking at the aerodynamics and evaluating your design from that perspective. Nor does the predicted apogee lock you into anything in the competition from the point of view of scoring and awards. That's a different matter, and you should do your own simulations to try to determine what your apogee is really going to be at the conditions that you think will exist, and also what you want to put on there on the day of the flight for the Barrowman competition. It's strictly for the purpose of evaluation of the proposals, and we want to make sure that if you're in the 30K category that you're not predicting 45K, for your result. But other than that, it doesn't lock you into anything.
Thanks, Jim. So the other question that we got, which Jim already answered, is in regards to the predicted altitude for the Barrowman Award. As Jim mentioned, it's supposed to be filled out on the day itself of your launch before you go to LCO and when you're doing your final safety reviews. So that's different than what Jim was just explaining. Next question that we got is updates on frequency allocations. I think we've answered this quite a few times, but just to recap, we're working on it very hard. And as soon as we've got a finalized plan, we'll be posting that. But I think the advantage right now is to switch to the other band instead of the 900 megahertz. One, it allows you to fly without any conflicts. And two, having that ham radio license on your resume will also look great. Anything else you'd like to add?
On the live video part of it, I think one thing that probably is relevant is for people to know that there are potentially as many as 120 teams wanting to do live video. And everyone wants to do it on 5.8 gigahertz, and it's just not something that can happen. I don't have a lot of hard guidance that I can give you at this point, other than that if you can figure out how to get on 1.2 or 2.4, that's probably going to be a more likely landing point. We're trying to figure out what we can do within 5.8 in order to make some more room available in that band. But it's going to be a challenge. If we have 120 teams doing live video, it's going to be extremely difficult to try to figure out how to do that in this environment. And I'm sorry for the delay in getting this out. We will do that as quickly as we can. I think I addressed 900 megahertz. I'm just, again, try to encourage teams to go to 70 centimeter on their COTS GPS if they can. And it'll make life easier, particularly if we have a lot of wind in the afternoon and we're forced to try to compress all the launches in the morning. That'll make things more difficult. So just my advice on that point. We'll try to come out with a band plan as soon as we can. Otherwise, I don't see any really big changes beyond what I put on Discord on that topic.
Thanks, Jim. Next question that we had is flagship forwarding recommended for non-international teams as well? Yes, they definitely are. So please reach out to them, as Andy mentioned earlier in the call, and get that conversation going. Another question that we had, one more so catered towards volunteers, more specifically regarding lodging and other logistical preparations. Stephanie, if you wanted to chime in on this. If you are, you're still on mute. If not, generally, I'll give you my scenario. Usually, we're looking at Airbnbs and hotels in and around the area. It's a twofold split, so one in Midland and then the other one either in Pecos or the town south of it, Ballamora. So splitting that up and figuring out how best suits your needs is the best way to go. Advice to everyone would be to look into this and start planning out the locations for your stays sooner than later, as a lot of people will be coming in to attend IREC. Next question that we had was for updates on the certification launch date before competition. So as Andy mentioned, we will be having it. Details will be coming out shortly. This is more meant for volunteers as a fun fly day. And then for students, it'll be certification. So either you'll be doing your level 1, level 2, and level 3s. If you're doing level 1s, there are kits you can purchase from Wildman for this. For level 2 and 3, you all need to bring your own rocket and motor. So if you're flying an Aerotech motor, then the same February 2nd deadline requirements still matter. Another question that we come in is if you're aware of new visa restrictions requiring a financial bond for certain countries. If we could clarify if this applied to IREC participants, as this poses a serious challenge for teams. I guess straight off the bat, from an IREC perspective, we aren't the ones controlling who is able to attend and who can't, and what the impositions in terms of levies are. That's done from a DoD to Homeland Security side. So the best thing to do would be to visit the government's website to see what exactly are the needs and what exactly are the criteria that needs to be fulfilled. One advice I can give for you is reaching out to your university's travel department. A lot of professors and other members of universities go out for conferences, recruiting events, and whatnot. So they'll be keeping up to date as to what specifically your university or your country needs to do to travel. Andy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would actually, and that's all great advice, 100%. But when working with Department of State and the various different consulates, et cetera, you want to make sure that they're aware that this is they get thousands upon thousands of requests on a monthly basis, and you want to ensure that they have every piece of information about the competition. And that's one facet of it. So, providing the website, providing all the details, providing, how many different international countries are attending this. But the other key piece is to ensure they understand that you have officially, your team has officially been invited. And so one of the two things that ESRA can provide to a team that will drastically help them out is your visa acceptance letter. And so by requesting that early, we can get that to you. It's a PDF, and you list out the names of the individuals on the team. And it just makes it very clear that we have officially invited you to participate in this event, and you're intending to bring these following students. So that's a very important document. There's a second document you can also accept or request, and that's really just an acceptance document. It just says your team with your university has been accepted into the 2026 IREC, and it's an official document that states that. But both of those two, plus all the information surrounding the event, and particularly highlighting all the different countries that are participating in the event, can quite often help you answer any of their concerns or challenges that they have up front. Unfortunately, I'm completely unfamiliar with any type of financial, bond, et cetera. So again, that would, unfortunately, nothing we can potentially help with. We don't have any contacts into the State Department. We've attempted to reach out to them in the past, and it's unfortunately we are such a small pea in the universe that they will listen to us, but they're not going to be changing policy based on our competition. So we'll try our best to support you through those two documents, but make sure you give them every bit of information you can about the competition. And quite often that can potentially change their minds or open them up to more other options to getting you approved.
Indeed. Thanks, Andy.
Yep.
And one other thing on that note is the situation is pretty fluid. So rules in place today might not be applicable tomorrow or the week after. So try to get this done sooner, because once you have your visa done, even if the rules change, you've got it completed and you already have it in hand. So yeah, reach out, start working on this sooner than later. At this point, I don't think we have any questions. I don't know if there are any other general updates if anyone else would like to share. If not, close it for the day.
Once again, we will be gathering the recording and posting that. We did receive very positive feedback. Moe, I wanted to pass this to you and to Jessica, that the town halls are being widely viewed in recording. So even though we may only have 70 or 80 people total on the session out of the almost 8,000 students participating, the recordings are being viewed quite a bit. So we had 3 different students come up and thank us for the town halls. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Alrighty then. We'll see you all in February Town Hall next. Till then, on Discord.
Great. Thank you, Mohi.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Mohi. Y'all have a good one.
See ya, you too.
Good night.